Okay, welcome everybody. So good to see so many faces here again in Wheaton, Illinois, and also so many new faces. So I will just in this opening explain a short bit about who we are and what we're going to do for the coming few days. My name's Erwin Bomas. I'm a board member of the ITC, and together with our board we spend another year preparing this conference. We do many things also in between, but this is the main event. So you all got your program. Just let's go a bit through that, because that also very well explains who we are and what we're going to do. But before we do that, let me just stand still a bit. Why ITC? I mean, we are all here as Theosophists from different affiliations. And you will probably all agree with me, there cannot be too much of Theosophy in this world. So, and of course, we can be stronger when we work together. It's just very simple. If we combine our forces, we can just be stronger. And the world needs it. And that's the second thing, that we can, by interaction, by communicating with each other, learning from each other, we can learn how to do our work better and get the Theosophy out there. And of course, the third thing is, I mean, we really have to practice what we preach. If we are about universal brotherhood and we are not working together brotherly ourselves, we're not walking our talk. So I think that's also very important to show the world that Theosophists are united and work together in their in spreading their ideals. Well, and actually that is what ITC is about. So you find our purposes on the first page, and it says that ITC is a platform. So that means that we're not functioning as just another organization. We have enough of those. But we're here to share, to learn from each other, well, actually what I already explained, how can we do a better job at spreading Theosophy? And then we have 4 purposes. So, of course, we go back to what is our common root. And that is, of course, the teachings of HPB and her teachers. So, and that's what we had the... at least I had the privilege to also visit the Summer National Convention, which was just programmed before here at the headquarters of the Theosophy, and with a very nice team and wonderful speakers who all showed how modern these principles still are. We think sometimes it's already 150 years ago, etc., but there are so many things that science hasn't discovered yet, which are there in the secret doctrine. It's actually on the forefront of all scientific things that we still have to discover. It's all there. So it's really nice to have experienced that so many people are now showing how actual and how applicable also these principles are. So, and that's what we're also about in ITC. Second, meaningful intercommunication. Well, that's what we're doing right now. That's our what we do at our annual conferences. And it's always a lot of interaction, because ITC is a members organization. So we all do this together, and we really work together. By this interaction, we come to one result together. So I already explained we are a platform organizing this conference, and of course we want to unite people in sharing this philosophy of Theosophy. So first of all, where are we now? We are at the headquarters of the Theosophical Society of America, and we are very grateful that we can be here. And we have a wonderful, you have a wonderful full staff here that is supporting us, and I've seen their hard work the last few days, and really looking forward together to work with you also the coming days. It's actually been the second time we are here. The first time was a complete cycle of 7 years ago in 2012. Tim Boyd invited us, then the president of the TSOV, right now, of course, the international president of IJAR. And yeah, that was our first time here, and we're really happy to be here again. Yeah, that we can use your experience and all your energy also for this conference. Well, what we're going to do, you've seen in the program a little explanation of yeah, how we are working, and we actually we're evolving all the time. So since 2012, a lot of things have happened. Herman will explain later how this evolution went a bit. But what we did, especially last year in Berlin, when we had our really first working conference, is using the study material, the readings. You've all have received readings. If you haven't yet printed them out or haven't had the chance to prepare, there are still some out there, I think below at the registration table, or, okay, right here. Okay, so make sure that if you want to prepare for the workshops, for the study circles, that and you haven't had the chance, that get some readings. And we explained last year, and we actually experienced that, how we can use Theosophy from really going from the universals to the particulars, and then use this universal teachings to really solve any problem we can think of. And we will we will use that same process again this year, but it will be explained in the study circle. So, and you will experience it all. So if you take a look at the program, and actually all 3 days are more or less the same structure. So what do we do? And actually this day is we have Elton Hall for our keynote presentation. So we start with the keynote first, covering the whole theme. But then we have every study circle round introduced by one speaker who is just in a very short lecture of about 20 minutes, introducing the theme for the day. And today that will be religion. And Jean Jennings will introduce that just after the lunch break. And then we go out in study circles. We will explain that process just before lunch. I will go further into it. And in the groups, and we will mix the groups, and every day will be new groups. So I already tell this because this is important. You all have to take a number to find out in which group you are, but you have to keep that number because we have to reuse that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So don't throw it away, because then we have a big problem. We don't know, we have to cut, and there were a lot of people with cutting these papers yesterday. Okay, and then after the study circles, we all come back here, and you have to, it's a working conference. So you have to do the work. And that means that in the study circles, you already have to summarize the most important things that you thought up, and give that to one of the representatives of your study circle. These representatives come together, and that is actually during dinner time. Well, we'll make sure, representatives, that you have some time to eat as well. And then there will be a speaker that will reflect on the summary of the summaries, or the synopsis of the synopsis. We use that also in the summer convention. So that's actually what are we going to do the coming days, every day. I have some small announcements. And you will see me more often with announcements. And please help me if I forget something. Just remind me, Bianca, for instance. Okay, very important. We have our elections on Sunday. So if you are a member, and by the way, you all can become a member of ITC. Just inform at our registration table. You can vote because we have a very important election with new board members that are up for re-election or new candidates that want to join the board. So that's important. And you can already vote. The voting closes when, Bianca?
Saturday evening. It is
Saturday evening. Okay.
It is important, however, that any new member cannot vote now.
Okay.
It's 3 months before
Yeah.
you have the right to vote.
Yeah, so next year. If you become a member now, you can vote next year. So before Saturday evening. So that's really important that they do that before in time. We also have our newsletter, the B. So if you want to be in touch with us, please also subscribe to the B free newsletter. You can learn everything about new teams, new conference, and also actually what we're really about. We call that in one word. Thanks to Betty Bland. Betty, I know you're yes. Cross-pollination. That's the thing that you infected us with. We won't get rid of that anymore. So that's what we're really about. In one word, cross-pollination. That is ITC. So, and yeah, we have a newsletter showing all kinds of examples of that. Just to make sure that the kitchen knows how many of the people are gluten-free, have a gluten-free meals. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. Okay, we got that. Other dietary, it's all vegetarian. There is vegan options a lot. So if there are any other, then please tell Bianca. We have at the end of the conference an excursion to the Arboretum, and you can also register for that at the registration table. There's I think $30, but suggested. It's a suggested donation, so we'll make up for it. If it's too expensive, we want everyone to come. That's the most important thing. Okay, then right now we will have first some opening remarks by our president, Jean Jennings, and our vice president, Herman Vermeulen, and then our host and president of the TSA, Barbara Hebert. And I wish you all a wonderful conference.